Greetings from New York City. I'm Phil and we're running the bridges. This is a video series where we visit all the bridges in New York City that you can run across. The big, the small, the old, the new, the world famous icons, and the ones you've never even heard of. And today we are back on Staten Island and we are visiting the Goethals Bridge, which connects Staten Island to Elizabeth, New Jersey. And it goes across the Arthur Kill, and it also goes across Old Way Creek, a little creek. But basically, it goes across Arthur Kill. It's a major bridge. It is Interstate 278, and this is one of the newer bridges in New York City, certainly the newest major bridge in New York City. And so a little bit of history about this bridge. So first of all, we are in the Howland Hook, or Old Way neighborhood of Staten Island, and it's mostly industrial area in the immediate area. And we're going to be going to Elizabeth, New Jersey, like I said. And this is the second bridge on this site. The original Goethals Bridge was built, opened in 1928, and it was one of the first bridges built by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. And the Port Authority, just a real quick history on that. It was an agency founded in 1921 by interests of both states, New York and New Jersey, in order to facilitate shipping from the harbors in Manhattan and Brooklyn to the rail yards in New Jersey. But they branched off into other forms of transportation. This bridge, the Goethals Bridge, and the Outer Bridge crossing, which also crosses the Arthur Kill into New Jersey, but that's farther down, farther south, and has no pedestrian access. We will not be covering that bridge. These two bridges were built about the same time, opened in 1928. Currently, the Port Authority also controls, they also built a Bayonne Bridge nearby, the George Washington Bridge. We'll cover those both in future videos. They also currently control the Lincoln Tunnel, the Howland Tunnel, the airports in the area, Newark, JFK, LaGuardia, as well as Teterboro, Stewart Airport. There's the Port Authority bus terminal, of course, everybody's very familiar with in Times Square. There's the PATH trains. Of course, PATH stands for Port Authority Trans-Hudson. They didn't necessarily create all these pieces of infrastructure, but they currently control them. They did build this bridge. It opened in 1928. The original bridge was a 4-lane bridge, 2 lanes in each direction, had a walkway on both sides, and by the 2000s, it was determined that it was, in need of upgrade. It was functionally obsolete, as they said. And so this bridge was built between 2014 to 2017, just in very, very close to the exact same side as the original bridge. This is, you can't really see it very well now, but I'll show you when we get up there. It's a twin cable stayed bridge. So there's the westbound lanes and the eastbound lanes each have their own span. There's a space in between. I think they use it to plan in case they wanted to use an mass transit in between. I kind of doubt that'll ever happen. And it does have a sidewalk. Now, the original Goethals Bridge, like I said, it had a sidewalk on both sides. They had been closed for many years, and I'm not exactly sure when they were closed. I think the south side might have been closed in the 60s and the north side in the 80s, maybe even early 90s. By the time I moved to New York in Staten Island in 1994, they were both closed. I did visit the original bridge, and I do have some pictures of the original North Walkway, which I will insert here. And that was just a regular 6-foot walkway. This has a 10-foot walkway. But like I said, this bridge was reopened in 2017. The pedestrian pathway actually did not open until March of 2020, and I've run across it once, very soon after it opened, and that was during the COVID shutdown. But I did run across it just at one time in March of 2020, very soon after it opened. So this, again, the pedestrian bridge opened in 2020, and I'm on Goethals Bridge North. Well, first of all, I should also mention, it was named after George Washington Goethals, who was one of the main consulting engineers on the Panama Canal, as well as one of the first consulting engineers of the Port Authority. And many New Yorkers will take me to task for saying Goethals. A lot of New Yorkers say Goethals. The main sources, the more trustworthy sources that I've seen, say Goethals is a correct pronunciation, so I will endeavor to pronounce it Goethals. But we're on Goethals Road North, and the bridge is to the west behind me there. Now, this goes up towards Forest Avenue is the nearest major street. There's no sidewalk. You can see past this area. There's no sidewalk, so it's not recommended to use that. If you to the west, there's Western Avenue, which and also leads to Gulf Avenue, which goes around the south side of the bridge and leads up to Forest Avenue, and that has a wide marked walkway, and bikeway. So that is a recommended path to come from Forest Avenue, cross to the south side, and then go down and around and come back up a little bit. That's the correct, preferred, proper way to get here. All right, so I'm just going to start going across. Like I said, I crossed this bridge exactly that one time. And I won't subject you, of course, to the entire trip, but I will show you a little bit of a view from the midpoint. So here is the fencing. Here's the walkway entrance. So I'm going to be going, and I'll see you partway across. All right. Okay, just a real quick note before I go any farther. The Port Authority bridges with pedestrian access, which are the Goethals, Bayonne, and George Washington bridges, they were designed with limited hours for the pedestrian walkway, generally between 6 a.m. and midnight. So in the early morning, you're kind of out of luck. But I think they've changed that, and according to the Port Authority's own website, the Goethals Bridge walkway, at least, Goethals and Bayonne Bridge, are both open 24/7. So you can go at any time. Now, they do have gates to possibly close them off, and so they may close them in inclement weather or emergency situations, but like heavy snow, ice, that kind of thing, they may be closed. But otherwise, they should be open 24/7. All right, just for that note. Now on we go. Okay, so here we are at the midpoint, and you can see there's the beautiful cable stay spans. Nice wide sidewalk, plenty of room for runners, walkers, and cyclers. There's the Staten Island side. I kind of took a little video so you got a better look at the wetlands. A lot of this part of Staten Island is undeveloped wetlands. There's also some shipyards, a shipyard there. You can look off to the distance, you can see that arch bridge. It's hard to see, but the arch bridge is a Bayonne bridge. We'll get to that in a future video. Way off in the distance, you can see the Manhattan skyline, but you can see all these shipyards in New Jersey side. So you get a nice view of that, and there's a view of the town of Elizabeth with all of its shipyards. Just a little bit of a view from the midpoint of the bridge. And all right, then I'll pause and I'll show you then the New Jersey side. All right. Okay, welcome to Elizabeth. So now we are in Elizabeth, New Jersey, on the New Jersey side. The bridge entrance right behind me here, just across the street. See right back there. Um, they have a nice little welcome here. Good pedestrian access on the New Jersey side in Elizabeth. And right behind me, this pathway leads to a very nice park that runs along a river, and will lead you to downtown Elizabeth. And it's about a mile, I think, to downtown Elizabeth. Now, the one time I ran here, uh, and I ran across into downtown Elizabeth, and I was surprised because Elizabeth is probably best known for being the location of Newark International Airport, actually, Newark Liberty International Airport, and there's a lot of shipyards here. So I think it has kind of a reputation of this industrial town. But if you go into downtown, it's really nice, and a lot of the city is really nice. And I just realized I looked, and it was the fifth largest city in New Jersey, actually. About 140,000 people as of 2025 census. Fifth largest, about 140,000 people. So I think Elizabeth just may be like an underrated gem in New Jersey. And I was just measured the distance across the bridge on my Garmin, and it's about 1.6 miles. So it's not a small bridge. It's a good distance. You come across one runner who was doing an out and back. So it's getting, and a few people on wheeled vehicles. So it's getting some use. I'm not sure how much use it really does get. Like on the Staten Island side, like I said, there's not much residential. There's no residential in the immediate area. If you go about a half mile or so to the east of the bridge entrance, you'll get to residential areas like Arlington, Mariners Harbor. Otherwise, it's industrial. There is a large warehouse for one of the online retailers nearby there, and like I said, lots of wetlands. So there's not a lot in the immediate area on Staten Island side, but it's definitely, I think, if you're a runner and if you love the bridges, you got to make the trip out here at some point. And in fact, I believe I'm going to go back into Staten Island and then continue on and hit maybe one of the other bridges, which we will see. But anyway, that's a little bit of a look at the Goethals Bridge between Staten Island, across the Arthur Kill, into Elizabeth, New Jersey. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you out here sometime, and we'll see where the wind takes us for the next one. All right.